Unavoidable. A word ideal to describe all of bird kind. Unless you are, by some peculiar means, locked away in a hole underground, at some point in your life, you have seen, heard, or maybe even touched a bird. Feathered, flighty, and freshly fitted, these airborne animals are capable of much more intricate atrocities than those which Hitchcock presented. This is Just Crow Things. Developed and published by Unbound Creations, Just Crow Things is a game about crow stuff. This game has you get going immediately, as the title screen prompts you to control a crow to navigate the menu, as opposed to just selecting them directly. Upon starting a new game, our little crow's grandmother says it's time to leave the nest, a very exciting moment in a young crow's life. After fetching something shiny for Grandma to prove your readiness to go out into the world on your own, you, as our cute corvid, are entrusted with a pair of sunglasses that have been passed down from generation to generation. You are next led into a tutorial area where you learn the basic functions of a crow, including but not limited to swooping, scooping, and pooping. At the end of this area, however, you are accosted by a band of bumbling bad birds who steal your precious shades. Now your aim is to catch those cretinous crows and take back your family keepsake. Once you've left the tutorial, you'll be dropped into the Overworld. You're free to fly around here and take a look at each of the levels you'll be visiting throughout your journey. At the center of this area sits a large vanity where you can change your hat and outfit to others you've collected during your escapades. Any levels you don't yet have access to will be grayed out, so as you complete each level, color gets added to this little world. From a time-shifting desert to the spooky forest to busy city blocks, each level has its own personality as well. In addition to the unique tasks in each level, you'll meet a collection of recurring animal friends who will need your help with their own recurring issues. Like this panicked squirrel mom who keeps losing track of her squirrel babies. All tasks will have you using your crow strengths to complete them, including flying, grabbing, and pooping. And eating different things can actually change the effects of your poops for some wacky results. Once you've gained enough crow points by completing tasks in any given level, you'll be able to move on to the next one. But you'll also unlock a sandbox mode in that level, where you can fly around and crow freely to your heart's content. Some of the later levels even had some interesting gimmicks that took me completely by surprise in the best way, changing up the way the point system works for a bit. This game is affectionately chaotic. While your main objectives are fairly clear, how each situation is presented can be very, very silly. In such a cartoony game, dramatic and heightened dialogue is exceedingly welcome. And there are some very blatant references to other characters in media, which gave me some good chuckles. Moments like these, and others that are just outright strange, invite feelings of wonder, laughter, and confusion. The silliness never takes a back seat, and that is exactly how a game like this should operate. Moving around in this game is a little funny, and by funny, I mean it makes me giggle to myself. When you're flying, bumping into objects has you bounce off of them like you're a super ball. Hearing the bouncing and human screams alongside all the other sound effects was a bit too much to handle all at once. But luckily, there is an option to adjust the level of the sound effects and music. The basic controls are pretty easy to pick up at the start, but some of the intricacies, such as aiming a dive, are a bit of a challenge. That being said, it contributes perfectly to the chaotic nature of the game. I never came across any major performance issues during my playthrough, and my only real critique is that some of the areas felt a little small or too segmented. The towns and cities felt the most cohesive, and I found myself having the best crow experience in those locations. Altogether, Just Crow Things is kinda weird in the best way. Silly characters, goofy scenarios, chaotic movement and abilities. Until the very end, this game offers cartoonish bits you probably weren't expecting, but they fit the tone so well, you wonder why you never thought of the situation in the first place. Just Crow Things is currently available on Nintendo Switch, Xbox, and Steam, and is set to be released on PlayStation later this year. If you're in the market for some slapstick shenanigans or chaotic cuteness, I think you'll enjoy this one. So get flying, folks. Thanks for stopping by.